came in with some of her neighbors, detailed it all for me. And I had one of my sergeants, I said, hey, I want you to meet with these people, figure out what's going on, do whatever we need to do, and it worked. So instead of me just always telling either the sergeants or the lieutenants or the officers, hey, go take care of this, and I'm just, it's just me, nagging them, right? By having them get personally involved in the issue, by assigning them to this group, they now get a better sense of what the issue is, and now they're more motivated to help solve the problem. Sergeant Gaynor did that with this one group I told you about, and it worked out really great. So when we met with my command staff last week, I was reminded of that, and we decided to make that a part of this program. So you'll have that as well. Whether it be, again, a member of my command staff, a member of the auxiliaries. Before we move on to the coordinators, I'm also going to have Chief Beavin talk about the auxiliary program a little bit and how that dovetails real nicely into this, especially in terms of vacation, house checks, and all that kind of thing. Chief, do you mind?
Johnson, did you have a question?
You just answered it. I've complete auxiliary.
I guess it just dawned on me while the chief was talking that we're kind of the original neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
We're charged with having a ready standby force, and we're to be the eyes and ears of the police department. We have a car on the road virtually every night. We try to have two. It doesn't always work out, of them each month, and those guys will travel the city all four corners, and they do house checks for vacation checks. And you call in, put your name in the book, we grab it, and we do a check of your house when we're on the road. We do businesses, that we check the schools, we check all the parks, go around and tell people parks are closed if it's late enough. We have guys that ride during the day and at night. Mostly right now we're riding at night, but we try to get some out during the day, especially on the weekends. I have about 30, I think I got 32 officers right now, and we're growing. Anybody interested, we're looking for people. You can go to TaylorAuxiliaryPolice.com and find us there. We do encourage you to call and for the vacation checks. You see the guys out, you stop and talk to them. We had last summer, it hasn't worked out so far this summer, but last summer we had a bike patrol out quite a bit in the neighborhoods, and they tried to pick a different area of the city every year. This year we've kind of lost the bike guys, but we're building them back up, so we hope to get that back going again. We do a lot of the church festivals in the city. We do the city festival. If there's a light out, middle of the night, we get a phone call, I get woke up, and we get guys out there to that phone call, to that light, so the regular officers can get out and do their jobs. I refer to us as we're their little brothers and sisters.
And sisters.
Yeah, and sisters. Sorry. I always get in trouble. But yeah, we try. Our job is really to relieve them of the mundane things like traffic direction, and lights down and things like that, so that they can get out and serve the people. How do you avoid that from happening?
Well, that's where getting to know each other comes into play. So if you get with your I didn't mean to jump all over you.
That's fine. No, that's fine. Please.
How come everybody says that? Oh no, you can talk. These four don't want to say anything. I'm up for a cough drop. So that's where it comes into play, getting to know your neighbors. So if you know Don is the guy driving up and down the street all night, okay, well, yeah, he's doing the watch, right? That's going to be a key component of this, so that, getting to know each other and understanding what's going on. Even if you don't want to participate, we're going to be depending on the coordinators and the block captains and the participants to at least get the word out. So even if you're not able to participate or get involved, you at least know what's going on, and that there is somebody out there doing the watch.
Well, hopefully I'm not going to overstep, but if you're going to be the type that's going to drive the streets of your neighborhood, I would hope that you maybe take a sticker, put it on a piece of cardboard or paper, and maybe stick it in your window for the night, so that now when you're driving around, you don't have people saying, well, who's this guy driving around? You can say, oh, that's the neighborhood watch. That's Taylor on watch, keeping track of the neighborhood. You don't want to leave it in your car because you don't know what somebody might decide to do. But
great idea.
Does the auxiliary drive the police cars, or how can you distinguish between an officer and the auxiliary?
We drive a fully dressed police vehicle, and it has auxiliary police on the front fender. They look similar to theirs.
From a distance, you would think it's a regular police car.
And we wear uniforms. They're dressed the same as I am tonight, only they have a dark light blue shirt. And in all honesty, when we go to an accident scene or whatever to help out with traffic, a lot of times people come up and talk to us, and we have to direct them over to the regular officer.
I just wondered if you were in your own vehicles with like one of those, like
no, they're full dress police cars.
They drive their own vehicles with the light on.
Yeah, and we're in radio contact. We carry radios. We're in contact with the dispatch, and our job is we see something, we call it in. And we're the eyes and ears, just like you are. Hopefully, we're more of a deterrent.
They certainly help increase our presence out there. Was there anything else, Chief?
No, I think that's it. If anybody got any questions?
Mayor Salas, did you want to address the group at all?
Sure, and I will keep it brief so we don't keep you out here in the rain. The chief touched on a lot of interesting points, social media being one of them. We use social media as a tool. The police department uses it, we use it in the city. Keep that in mind. I know most of you use it as a way of keeping up with your friends and family and those types of things. Be very careful about what you put on social media. What you can see, what your friends can see, so do these criminals. As they become more sophisticated, they're keeping up with the times. They're using technology to their advantage. Please be very, very careful of what you put out there. The other thing I just want to briefly touch on is the chief talked about the size of the department. Our goal is to continue to increase the department. City of Taylor is 24 square miles. We couldn't possibly add enough police officers to really accurately cover the City of Taylor the way that we would like to. The budget just simply isn't there for that. Chief does have a plan, and we are working towards that number, but these programs are extremely important. I see people all the time and they say, why don't we do this or why don't we do that? We need one of those guys to drive up and down the street. We are we. I mean, everybody here, that's what we are doing here. So, you know, I applaud you guys for coming out, because so many people say, I want to do something, we should do that, but yet you see there's still so many empty chairs. So continue to encourage your friends and families to come out as well. This department is, they're tasked every day with so many different calls. I mean, the call volume is unbelievable. I now have a radio and I listen to these things all the time, and I hear the calls for the mini bikes that ride up and down the street, and when we get there, they're gone. The fireworks that are exploding at 2 o'clock in the morning, and when we get there, there's nothing but papers left. You know, again, we're trying to be as proactive as we can, but keep in mind when that occurs, that's why, you know, when the chief talked about, you know, being the eyes and ears, try to get that information, because most of the time when these cars arrive, it's so hard. I experienced something in the Northwest Park. There was a go-kart, and I personally went through this. The kid was ripping through the park, tearing up the turf. I called the chief. I said, can you please send a car out here? This kid's going to hurt himself or someone else. Well, by the time they got there, and it wasn't due to a lack of responding, it was just due to the time that when they got there, he left. He was gone. He may have been. The good thing for him, or the bad thing for him in this case, he left his chair. The chair broke, and he came back, and he didn't know the officer was still there. So he came back, and they got him. But it's difficult because these vehicles, these mini bikes and these mopeds and these go-karts, they're fast, they're nimble, and they can get in and out of areas that police cars cannot. So we absolutely need your support. For us to really do what we want to do in the City of Taylor, we can't do it by adding 10 more officers. We're going to need all of your help and your support in doing it. So keep coming out. Next time, what would be great is to see twice as many people here and keep growing this program. Yeah. It's the only way we're really going to accomplish the goal that we want to accomplish. So thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor.
I just thought of one more thing.
Okay.
I'm not sure everybody knows that the auxiliaries are a volunteer force. Right. And we ask them to do 16 hours a month. And most of my guys do anywhere from 200 to 800 hours a year to come out and patrol the city. So, but we are all volunteer. We all have jobs during the day or nights. So wasn't sure everybody's aware of that. I tell people the auxiliary is French for free.
That's a good point. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm sorry, I think he had his hand up. First, Doug?
I just got another question. In the kind of hierarchy of this?
Yes.
By going through the training and being involved, does that make everybody here a more credible witness? Because they're getting the pertinent information that you need.
I'm not sure if it necessarily makes you more credible in terms of how a judge would analyze it on the stand.
No,
but
it's
certainly
more
it makes you a
about
better
how
witness.
you
Yes.
perceive us.
Well, certainly, because you're going to naturally be more credible when you're making a report, because you're going to be giving us all that information we're looking for, and we're going to go, okay,
And
he was
I
paying
just wanted to
attention.
make sure everybody understood that, because by getting involved, you
Right.
have a line of communications that's more open rather than, I don't believe you're telling me this. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thanks.